mean, we're both competitors, and there's no ill will. And once we both get punched in the face, like, we're gonna be locked in.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I have an abundance of and of which you have none of.
Jake Paul is visibly shaken after hearing that Floyd Mayweather has officially joined Gervonta Tank Davis's training camp. While Jake continues to project calmness, his tone and expressions reveal something else: nervous energy. The thought of Mayweather fine-tuning Tank's timing, defense, and explosiveness adds a whole new threat to the fight. Fans are now convinced that Jake realizes he's up against a seasoned world champion backed by one of the greatest boxing minds in history. The tension surrounding him feels heavier than ever.
The cardio, the conditioning, it's a sprint and a marathon at the same time. But I feel great. So I don't know, after 5 years of doing it, I'm healthier than ever, mentally doing amazing. So I'm just always thinking of the positive. And even in sparring, I've never been knocked down or knocked out or anything. So I've just yet to experience any.
Have you ever been knocked out?
No, never. I was meditating once. That's how my nose is crooked. People think my nose is crooked from boxing, but I was meditating once. It's the only time I've ever passed out and I got knocked out. But I like was sitting on this higher chair thing, meditating, breathing in, and I think I had like low blood sugar or something, or it was early in the morning, earlier than I normally woke up. And I just fell forward straight into the concrete, and it broke my nose, and I was like knocked out for like.
Reports confirm that Floyd Mayweather has stepped in to personally guide Gervonta Davis through his latest camp, offering his tactical vision and championship discipline. His influence brings an unmatched level of precision and experience to Team Tank. Under Mayweather's mentorship, Davis is working on mental control, counter-punching awareness, and mastering his rhythm. With every training session, the bond between legend and protege grows stronger, turning this upcoming showdown into something far more serious than entertainment. Experts studying this matchup point out one of the biggest talking points: the size difference. Davis built his legacy dismantling elite fighters in lighter divisions where his compact power and speed dominated. Jake Paul, on the other hand, has fought much heavier, using his natural size and long reach as key advantages. Many analysts question if the weight and height gap is too drastic for a fair contest. Some even say no major commission would approve it as a true professional fight. It's a physical puzzle that adds both risk and intrigue.
My question is, what's the rules? And like, are they going to actually try and knock each other out? Because it's going to be a glorified sparring match. I'm not watching, dude. I don't give a fuck.
Jake's going to have a hard time hitting him.
Yeah.
You know?
Big time. Gervonta's so fast and skilled.
Gervonta's going to eat his
I thought
guts.
Jake was going to fight Anthony Joshua. That seemed
no, that was actually getting.
That is
sounded
the
more
craziest
interesting.
idea I've ever heard. Jake Paul trying to fight Anthony Joshua is, crazy.
Not a sanctioned professional bout. This means the fight will not count towards either fighter's professional records.
So it's still being finalized.
Yeah, I don't like that.
So what is so behind the scenes? You think there are things like, hey, we don't punch each other in the jaw.
Yep. Or don't go. We can punch in the face, but don't go for broke. Like, don't knock me out.
Really?
Yeah. It's an exhibition.
That's
so
not
they
very
can get away
interesting
with
to
it.
me.
No, until I find the rule sets. But when I hear exhibition, I'm like, okay.
Jake is bodied up, man.
He's big.
Yeah.
Probably has 100 pounds on Gervonta.
Maybe. I'd say Gervonta probably walks at 150.
Oh, he's so small.
He's so small. I mean, he's really small. Bring up Gervonta Davis next to Floyd Mayweather, because I've seen Floyd in person, and he's tiny. You've seen Floyd in person.
I've worked with Gervonta and Floyd.
Tiny.
Well, Floyd
dude.
likely has shoes on there.
Oh, dude, he's so small.
He's tiny, guys.
Yeah. I mean, he's so small.
Chael Sonnen has emerged as one of the most vocal supporters of Gervonta Davis in this debate. To him, Tank represents the heart of real boxing. Sonnen argues that while Jake Paul brought millions of new eyes to the sport, he also blurred the line between athletic excellence and entertainment. Fans now look to Davis to restore that balance to remind the world what true skill looks like. Sonnen believes this fight is about pride as much as it is about power, and if Tank wins decisively, it will prove once again that authentic boxing always prevails over hype.
Tank has one job to do, which is to let anybody know that's listening that it doesn't make any difference, that boxing is a real sport. My skills versus your skills, of which I am an abundance of and of which you have none of. My life's commitment and dedication versus a second or third or fourth thought in the world of priority on your list. And I used to believe those things. Now, I go back far enough in MMA that I've had my eyes open a number of times. The fact that karate was so incredibly useless, or the fact that Jeet Kune Do was so incredibly useless, like these were not things that I would have bet on when I was in high school. As a wrestler at that time, I would not have assumed that I would fare well in a fight against somebody that knew Kung Fu. We had all been falsely led through Hollywood. Not through competition, not through sport, not through understanding of the game, but just through Hollywood. We were told that those guys were the most dangerous guys. So, we then eventually get up to Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, which had a weight discrepancy, but it was very small. I mean, I watched them weigh in. I want to say it was like 8.
There's a reason weight divisions exist in boxing. They're meant to protect fighters from dangerous mismatches. Davis is used to opponents who move fast and match his frame. Against Jake Paul, he faces a man who carries naturally heavier muscle and impact force. That difference alone changes everything. Tank's precision and speed might still shine, but the physics favor Jake's durability. Many believe Davis will need more than skill. He'll need adaptability and strategy to overcome the mass advantage Jake brings into the ring.
No way in hell this fight was ever going to happen. And the fact that y'all believed it, I don't know, you're stupid. So Rick Thompson, chairman of the Georgia Athletic Commission, told USA Today Sports that Paul's promotion company withdrew its request for permits and a rule waiver, citing the 65-pound weight difference between the fighters. The Rick Thompson guy straight up said they've been promoting something they should not have been. Come on, guys, like, use your brains. Y'all boxing fans, you understand this. This fight was never going to happen. This is the article from USA Today. It says the status of the proposed fight between Jake Paul and Gervonta Davis under scrutiny because of the weight discrepancy between the two fighters. Rick Thompson is coming out and saying this stuff because he said he believes it's in the public's best interest to know that they've been promoting something they should not have been. Communications director for the Office of the Secretary of State told USA Today Sports the event will not be happening. But funny enough, tickets are still available. You could still purchase them online, and the fight is still listed on.
Throughout his rise, Gervonta Davis has built his brand on legacy, honor, and real competition. That's why some fans are puzzled by his decision to fight someone from the influencer world. They argue that Tank should focus on elite-ranked fighters, not social media sensations. Some even worry that by taking part, Davis might unintentionally legitimize influencer boxing. Yet, others defend his choice, saying it's a smart move to expand his global reach and show what real fighters can do when the spotlight shines brightest.
Not the problem with boxing. Tank Davis is. Jake Paul's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. He's a Disney Channel kid, YouTube star turned boxer. Of course, he's gonna make these stupid spectacle matchups. He doesn't care about his career, his legacy, or the sport. Meanwhile, we have Tank Davis, the heir apparent to Floyd Mayweather and Adrian Broner, who has real talent. And if he was actually consistent in the ring and was willing to get in with some of the best fighters in the world, he could be top 3 pound for pound best fighters in the sport. But instead, Tank just wants to hold up his division for 5 years and make a mockery of the sport, especially with this fight. I know Tank Davis multiple times has said he only cares about the money and just wants to make 100 mil and go retire off an island somewhere, but that's bad for the sport, especially coming from one of our sport's biggest superstars. Look at guys like Naoya Inoue, Alexander Usyk, Terrence Crawford. Those guys are real fighters, okay? They challenge themselves against the best fighters in the world. And money comes their way too from it. Don't get it twisted. What's crazy is Tank would make just as much money if he fought Shakur, Devin Haney, even Teofimo Lopez. The biggest tragedy of all is the fact that Lamont Roach isn't getting his rematch. He got robbed in that fight with a knockdown. He definitely would have won the split decision, and he would have got his Buster Douglas moment, but he didn't. And now he can't even get a rematch because Tank is going to do this. And now Lamont Roach has to fight Pitbull Cruz instead. I used to be such a big Tank Davis fan, but over the last year and a half that I've had this channel, the amount of BS that I've had to report on Tank Davis just like this completely turned me off as a fan of Tank Davis. Jake Paul can do his thing with the influencers, with the MMA fighters, but with boxers, stop.
Modern boxing has evolved into a spectacle-driven industry. Today's audience demands storylines, tension, and viral moments. Promoters respond by building events that blend entertainment with athleticism. Influencer boxing thrives in this environment because it sells emotion, not just skill. Purists fear that this shift may push genuine talent into the background, but promoters insist it's the only way to keep boxing relevant in the digital era. The balance between sport and show business has never been this fragile or this profitable.
To where it's at, I'll expand on that. For one, you have good fights where I'm not talking about these type of fights, crossover type of fight, former Disney guy, influencer stuff, not. And Jake Paul has really promoted himself and acquitted himself to the point where he's kind of a boxer. Now, he hasn't fought the top names. I get it, blah, blah, blah. But he's doing his thing. He's training like a boxer. He's not like taking it lightly, like streaming and then working on his YouTube more than he's working on his boxing. It is what it is, right? But beyond that, let's keep it going. I told you I'm about to really get unpacked. Subscribe to the channel. The reality is, the reason why I'm saying I blame you, the fans, is because we've had some very good fights, like David Benavidez, Caleb Plant, whatever. I'm talking in the last 5-10 years, right? Very good fights, all boxing. So not talking influencer or any type of crossover fight, right? Good fights. And then you got boxing fans in a niche sport who didn't further the exposure by advertising or buying the fight, mostly buying the fight with piracy and whatnot. So now we're at a point in this society where these companies, they're like, all right, they see the piracy is a problem. Now they're looking for sure shot, must win type of scenarios. That's why we're getting these fights that some people, purists and diehards, are calling wonky fights. You know what I mean? It is your fault, because when there was real boxing on, a lot.
As hype for the fight exploded, organizers hit an unexpected obstacle. The original venue reportedly backed out, hesitant to host an event some viewed as more entertainment than sport. Promoters scrambled to secure a replacement, eventually landing a new location ready to handle the global spotlight. The shift caused some tension, but it also revealed how determined the business side of boxing is to keep the event alive. When fame, finance, and attention collide, the show always goes on.
Jake Paul is over 50 pounds heavier than Gervonta Tank Davis, and he's nearly a foot taller than Gervonta Tank Davis. So no sanction body wants to, and no commission wants to, should I say, I keep saying sanction body, no commission wants to sanction it. They don't want to be a part of it, as I told you guys. So they announced that the fight was going to take place November 14th in Atlanta at the State Farm Arena where the Atlanta Hawks play. And the Georgia Athletic Commission, he came out and he made a serious statement, and he let the world know that they falsely...
Both fighters understand modern entertainment better than anyone. They've built empires by staying visible, controversial, and relevant. For Jake Paul, every opponent is a headline. For Davis, every appearance strengthens his legacy. Critics may dismiss the matchup as spectacle, but financially it's genius. Tank's star power gives his opponents exposure they could never buy, while Jake's following guarantees record-breaking viewership. Whether fans love or hate it, both men know one truth: if people are watching, they're winning.
Discussion in the boxing world about Gervonta Davis and Gervonta Davis, his resume, who he's going to fight, the competitors that he's going to fight. And every once in a while, something happens that proves that Gervonta Davis is the face of that. If he's not the face of boxing because people just don't want him to be that, man, he is real close to it, because other than Canelo Alvarez, and even consider Canelo Alvarez included, nobody in boxing has divisions circulating around him like Gervonta Davis does. And that was proved during this Lamont Roach versus Pitbull Cruz announcement for their pay-per-view. Just think about this. Gervonta Davis, they always say that Gervonta Davis has a poor resume. But yet, Gervonta Davis, guys that fight Gervonta Davis, lose to Gervonta Davis, or get a draw to Gervonta Davis, can fight one another and make an anticipated pay-per-view between the two of them. Because that fight with Pitbull Cruz is a very, very popular fighter with Mexican fight fans. Lamont Roach got a lot of name exposure with black fight fans and Mexican fight fans and white fight fans, all with his draw that he got against Gervonta Davis. Now they believe that this is going to be able to be a profitable endeavor for a pay-per-view. Now, let me also tell you that Rolly Romero, who was somebody else that Gervonta Davis fought in the past, will be on a pay-per-view that's going to be successful, most likely, when he defends his WBC 140-pound championship.
Veteran boxer Danny Garcia sees it clearly. He knows fans crave unusual fights because they mix curiosity with unpredictability. This matchup might not impact rankings, but it's built to capture attention. People want to witness the clash between raw power and elite precision between celebrity and champion. Yet traditionalists worry that the sport's integrity is fading. They want belts, not views. They want rivalries, not marketing experiments. As boxing becomes more commercial, that line between sport and show continues to blur, leaving the next generation to decide what the sport truly stands for.
Breaking news: Jake Paul will be taking on Tank Davis in an exhibition on November 15th in Atlanta, Georgia, live on Netflix. And this is crazy for multiple reasons. One, they have a huge size difference. Tank Davis, he's a lightweight, normally fights at 135 pounds. And Jake Paul, he's a cruiserweight, usually fights at 200 pounds. So there's a good 60 to 65 pound difference here. It could also mean that Tank Davis is no longer interested in competing for titles anymore and is cashing out of boxing. You know, there's been a lot of talks that Tank is nearing retirement this year, and he was supposed to rematch Lamont Roach after their first fight went to a draw. But instead of chasing the Roach rematch, instead he takes the Jake Paul fight for money. So maybe this is Tank's last, or one of his last fights. And same for Jake Paul. He just got ranked number 14 at cruiserweight after beating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So he's supposed to be fighting other ranked contenders or top guys at cruiserweight. But instead, he's taking a money fight. But I do expect these two to go after each other. Even though it is an exhibition, I don't think it'll just be some boring sparring match. I do think they'll try a decent amount. But Tank, obviously, is a lot more skilled. Jake has a lot more size, but you guys...
That wraps up today's breakdown. The tension, the training, and the drama behind Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis are reaching a boiling point. Stay locked in to the top boxing for every update, analysis, and behind-the-scenes twist. Until next time, keep your guard up and your passion for boxing alive.